Hey there, this is Mekon Hawksman, and I am going to talk to you a little bit about some of my peeves and some of the things I like about DJI, what I don't like about DJI, what I'm kind of anticipating about some of the new UAVs coming out pretty soon. Um, so I've been kind of in a moment where I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the future of my UAV work. I've been doing commercial work now for a couple of years, and with all the changes happening, there's a lot of stuff still up in the air. I do have a 333 exemption, but I'm also kind of thinking about, how much work am I going to get out of it? I know a lot of people are buying drones themselves, people that were former clients of mine that have them now. So I'm kind of wondering, what do I need? What do I not need? I've got a DJI Inspire Pro. I had an Inspire 1 before that, and I also have a Phantom 2 and just bought a Phantom 4. So I'm definitely in the thick of all these things. Um, so one of the things that kind of struck me was a few weeks ago, about 6 weeks ago actually, I was flying my Inspire Pro, and took off about 20, 30 feet up in the air after doing some tests. And I'd already done some flights before that. And I was doing checking some camera parameters, and all of a sudden the thing just fell right out of the sky. I still don't know why it fell out of the sky. Reached out to DJI, and they were nice enough to at least do a warranty repair on it and send it back to me. I've done a couple flights on it, and everything seems to be okay. It still kind of concerns me that I don't know what the reasoning was, and it's kind of a peeve of mine that they haven't said anything. So the other thing is that I was thinking about it, and this time it was under warranty, but it's $4,500 that's up in the air. And when I look at the image quality of the X5 camera, not the X5R, the X5 camera, I'm a bit concerned because I feel like there's a lot of features on the camera. Sure, you can change the lenses, which is really really great. You can do a lot more with your exposure settings, shutter, all that. And again, I'm coming from as a DP, I'm coming from that background. I look at these as a camera platform first, and then a drone. So the thing is that it shoots 4K at 60 megabits a second, which is really anemic. And to be honest, it's just not that great. I know the X5R is a lot better, and I've started seeing some footage from that, and I've been talking with people who have the new X5R that shoots in RAW, and you can shoot in DNG format. The issue there, though, again, is that it ups the price even more. So now you're looking at a UAV that's it's around $5,000, actually a little bit more than that. So that's a lot of money to be putting up in the air, especially if it comes down unexpectedly and you don't have a warranty for it. Also, how much work are you getting out of it? Flying UAVs is not my number one thing. I do a lot of work just as a DP, so it's not my top priority. I love doing it. It's a lot of fun, and like to get a lot of work out of it. Um, I will say, going through all this, I started thinking maybe I'm going to get rid of the Inspire Pro and just get a few smaller UAVs. So I went ahead and started with the purchase of the Phantom 4, which I wasn't sure about. I've got a Phantom 2 and I really like it a lot, although it's a lot of work. Any of you that have a Phantom 2 with a GoPro, you have to have a lot of extras on there to really make it work. Not a big deal, and I really like the way that it looks, the way that it flies, and the way that it handles. It's always been a really great drone. And the thing is, you can crash it, and I've had a couple of hits and misses here and there, and it's tumbled to the ground once or twice, and it's been fine. I've never had a problem with it, been able to work it, and never had to send it into the shop to get any kind of repair done to it. So that's kind of a plus with that, right? And when you look at the GoPro's camera, when I shoot 2.7K. I rarely shoot 4K because I like the medium format. That stuff looks amazing, especially if you do some grading on it. With my Inspire, I have the X3 camera, and that camera compared to the GoPro, I think is on par. Some ways I think it's a little bit less than the GoPro. Obviously, there are certain features that work better on one camera and not the other. For me, again, what I'm liking about DJI is that the technology is really, really pushing. The Inspire is just an incredible piece of equipment. The way that it can fly, the way that it handles, it's so fast. And the same now with the Phantom 4. I was really, really impressed with the technology on the Phantom 4. But again, I did the same thing. I took it for a couple of test flights, just basic, just general parameters, didn't really tweak much. And the same sharpening issues that you have with the Phantom 3 that you've had with the X3 camera, we're all there. So I already had to make those adjustments, kind of soften the take the sharpening down, the contrast, all that. So I still feel like DJI, the big issue that I have with them is the camera side of things. And yeah, you can take it a step up and you start getting, the larger UAVs where you can put, a DSLR on there, or, anything else, an Alexa Red, C100, whatever you want to do. But again, that goes into another price point. And I kind of feel like there's still this area that needs to be kind of filled. It needs to be a niche filled where we have a good quality camera. It doesn't have to be the greatest camera in the world, but also it has to be something that you can't be scared to let it fall to the ground and move on. And again, I've got insurance as well. I've got all kinds of coverage, but it's just not a fun thing when you're losing something that costs so much money, and it's just kind of a hassle. So that's kind of where I am now. The other thing that I'm looking forward to is seeing the new Typhoon H from Yuneec. It's a hexacopter, which sounds kind of interesting. Yuneec seems promising. They've got a lot more. They've really been growing a lot. They've really been pushing their equipment. They have the Tornado, which seems like it's a pretty interesting device. Although it does look like looks like a food processor in the air. But it does use a GH4 type camera, whether it's their own or an actual GH4. Now with Yuneec Typhoon H, I've been reading some specs. I haven't seen it. It was supposed to have been released this week and then hopefully be released next week. We'll see, or the week after that. Maybe I'll get a chance to look at it at NAB next week. But the thing that struck me was that it was supposed to be recording at 100 megabits a second at 4K, which to me sounds quite promising. If that camera can deliver not just on the bit rate but on the quality, I think that Yuneec is really going to have something on their hands, and I think it's going to be something that will, especially for someone like me, it'll be the perfect size and the perfect type of UAV. Good price point, $1,300. That's not too bad. I can handle that. But that's kind of where I am with all these things. Now, if you want, you can take a look at some of the work that I've done with Phantom 2. I'll show you some links to some sample footage, and the same with Inspire. And I don't have a whole lot of Inspire Pro stuff that I can show right now. I'll see if I've got some clips here and there that I can put up there. But anyway, that's kind of where I am with it. I'd like to know what you guys think out there. Where are you coming from? What are your feelings? Because the biggest issue that I've had lately is looking around online. People aren't really talking much about the cameras, and to me, for me and my business, that's the most important thing. I need a decent camera, but I also need something to kind of balance out my whole kit, so to speak. I've got cameras. I've got several cameras. I've got lenses. I've got all kinds of other stuff. I'd like to have a UAV as an offering for my clients, but I don't want to make the investment into thousands and thousands of dollars of giant UAVs. That's a specialized area, and I'm glad that there's people out there that are doing that. But it's also, that's their bread and butter. This is not my bread and butter, but I want it to be just another offering that's solid, and I want the quality to be there. So even maybe some of the manufacturers out there are listening and they're saying, yes, we hear you. We're working on the technology. Now we're going to start working on the cameras, and we're going to put them all together. So anyway, hope to see some of you out at NAB next week. I'll be out there Tuesday and Wednesday and just kind of checking out everything. Obviously, I'll be at the drone pavilion. I can't even speak today. Drone pavilion. And otherwise, I look forward to talking to you guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Thanks.